mistake their biased gut feeling for their true intuition. And it leads them down pathways that are either dangerous or that cause them to lose money. I remember once I got scammed out of $100, and I knew in my gut that this was a scam as I was falling into it. And
Mm.
yet I was so in love with the idea of winning something that I went ahead and forked over the $100, which I never saw again. So in that instance, I had supposedly won a
Mm.
vacation package. And in
Okay.
order to get the vacation package, I had to pay a $100 booking fee. And if I had listened to my intuition, I would have just walked away. But I didn't. My intuition was screaming at me, this is a scam. And yet I was so confused about, the excitement that I felt at winning a prize that I thought that that excitement was the message that this is legitimate. Um, so
Mm.
it helps you clarify how you navigate through the world. Um, and everybody has intuition. There are certain types of intuition that people are born with, that everybody is born with. And there are certain types of intuition that lie dormant. And as your intuition comes online, you develop new skills that you may or may not be ready for. The problem in our society is that we're all born with certain types of intuition, empathy, cellular intuition. These are automatically online when you're born because they are wired into our DNA. But we're not taught how to use them. We're not taught that they even exist. And sometimes we're even ridiculed for um, saying that they do exist.
Right.
It's very confusing to grow up in a situation in which you are being bombarded by empathic energy at all times, and you don't know where it's coming from, who it belongs to. Is it mine? Is it somebody else's? What's going on? And unfortunately, that and a number of other things cause people to shut down their intuition over time. So typically, from the ages of 1 to 7. People are energetically wide open.
Mm-hmm.
We are very susceptible to energetic patterns that are floating out there in the environment. We're very much in tune with our parents. We're in tune with other people around us. Our intuition is functioning fully, and then things happen that cause us to not enjoy the intuition anymore. I have an anecdote from my childhood when I was, I'd say, 8 or 9 years old. At my grade school, there was a raffle that was going on. And the prize for this raffle was 2 large bags of groceries. And I really wanted to win that prize. So I, like everybody else, I had my raffle ticket. I had my raffle ticket in my pocket, and all of the numbers had gone into a bucket that the principal of the school was going to uh, dive into, pull out the winning number, and that's the person who got the bags of groceries. When the time came for the drawing, I just happened to be standing on the stage real close to the principal.
Mm.
And the principal turned to me and said, "You pick a number out of the bucket." So of course I reached in, I felt around, I found the ticket that felt the warmest to me. I pulled it out, and sure enough, it was my ticket that I pulled out. And what started off as, wonder and awe, oh my God, I picked my own ticket out of this bucket of maybe 250 tickets. It very quickly transformed into a really horrible experience where I was accused of cheating,
Oh.
where there was a student parent conference that took place with the principal to determine whether I should be punished.
Wow.
Did I actually cheat? Should I be expelled? Should I be suspended? Ultimately, they had no way of proving that I hadn't legitimately pulled out my own number. So they eventually had to let it go. But that was a traumatic experience for me. And that type of thing can cause you to shut down your intuition.
Absolutely.
Um,
Wow.
there's also a sense of guilt that you may tune into when
Hmm.
you use your intuition to get an unfair advantage or what seems like an unfair advantage over other people. In my mind, if you're using your intuition to figure out strategies for success, then you're not cheating. You're not using a technique that is forbidden. You're just doing something that other people have forgotten how to do.
Correct.
And therefore, you have an advantage. When I was in college, there was a final exam that I had to prepare for. And the professor had given us a list of 20 essay questions, and he said that three of these 20 essay questions would be on the final exam. So, in order to cover your bases, you had to study all 20 of
Hmm.
the essay questions because 3 out of 20, that's pretty bad odds for just guessing. So, what I did was I meditated, I looked through the list of questions, and I picked out the five that I
Okay.
thought would be most likely to be asked. And I studied those and I ignored the other 15. And sure enough, the three questions on the exam were among those five that I had honed in on. And I, of course, aced the exam because I was well prepared. And then afterwards, I felt guilty. I
Mm.
felt guilty because in my mind, I had cheated by using intuition to figure out what the questions were. And that type of guilt is something that might cause you to shut off your intuition. There are lots of other reasons why people might shut off their intuition as well. Simply the confusion of not knowing what's yours and what belongs to other people because we're not trained in how to use our intuition. That's enough. That's a good reason to shut down your intuition. If you're
Yeah.
overwhelmed with energy from other people and you don't know what's going on, um, fear that you might be going crazy, fear of losing your friends because you know things about them that they haven't told you, fear that people will shy away from you, fear of being shunned, fear of being institutionalized, which is something that you may have actually experienced in a past life, either being imprisoned or sent to a mental institution because you had gifts that other people didn't have. That these are all good
Yeah.
reasons for shutting down your intuition.
And this
So
makes
we're
huge sense.
born, yeah, it does. And so we're born with our intuition online, in particular, the empathy
Okay.
and the cellular intuition, which allows the different cells of the body to communicate with each other from a distance. And that can open up into um, getting information from beyond the physical body as well. So, the cellular intuition is one of the foundations for clairvoyance and clairaudience and clairsentience and other gifts that you can develop that I would consider intermediate level intuition.
This
But if
isn't.
you, yeah,
Can I say, I mean, this is incredible information. And one thing you said early on really struck a chord in me, and that is in your initial story where he had won the, supposed vacation. You said there's a difference between intuition and a gut feeling, and a lot of people
yeah.
don't know the difference. This is really key because I'm going to ask you, what is the difference? How can we discern the difference? Because I think, let me know with a show of hands if you all kind of feel like your gut feeling is your intuition, or do you feel like it's not? Just type in a yes or a no in the chat. I'd like to know. And Patrick, that seems to be an area where a lot of people can get stuck. So explain a little bit about that to
Yeah.
me. What is the difference?
So for many people in this group, your gut feeling is in alignment with your intuition. And the goal that we have is to make it so that your gut feeling is always in alignment with your intuition.
Okay.
But the problem is we have traumatic experiences, we have biases, we have expectations, and we may even have prejudices that color our emotional reactions when we encounter something.
And
So,
fears, right? The
and
bias towards
fears.
fear would be another
Yes.
one, right? Because
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just share a story. You want to hear a gut feeling that was wrong? I'll give you all the biggest one of your life. You
Yeah,
wouldn't be here
please.
if it wasn't true. When I was asked potentially to start the show with the first producer I had, my gut feeling was of fear, was of, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I'm going to have to work so much. I don't want to deal with that. I had already a marriage that collapsed and I had started a new relationship. I was like, I don't want to go down that track where I'm working like a madman. So my gut feeling for 2 days was like, no, I'm going to say no to trying to start this venture.
Hmm.
And then eventually, like you said, once I got past that bias and I was like, what's really informing my gut? Is it my higher self intuition or is it just all of this gunk that I haven't worked on yet? I
Yeah.
was like, no, this actually is the thing to do. And it has been one of the, hallmarks of my life. So absolutely, I may not have been here, may not be here. Y'all wouldn't be here if I followed my gut at the level of, it not being 100% aligned.
Yes. So
Yeah.
this is one of the reasons why it's so crucial to become your higher self. Because your
Mm,
higher self is you. You are your higher self. Your higher self is you without the baggage. It's you without the trauma and without the fears and without the prejudices and biases and so forth that might lead you astray. So let's say, for example, I'm walking down the street
mhm.
and I notice that somebody is walking towards me on the same side of the street. And I have a gut reaction because I notice that this person is dressed in a certain way and has a certain skin color that's different than mine. And I suddenly get this spark of fear in my belly. And so I cross the street. So the question is, was that a true intuitive hit, or was that just a prejudice of mine that I allowed to
Mm.
take over? As long as you have the trauma and the biased belief systems, the limiting belief systems, and so forth that are in pretty much everybody's subconscious mind, because we're trained to live in fear of things in the world. We're pretty much taught to be on our guard at all times. You, and until you've cleared that, then your intuition is going to be out of alignment with your gut feeling. Our goal is to bring it into perfect alignment so that your gut feeling is always the accurate intuitive hit. Yeah. So that's what
That is a
Lightbridge
huge
is all
example,
about.
guys.
Yeah.
That is an enormously potent example of how our gut or our own internal intuitive system gets corrupted by these beliefs. Does everyone understand that? And I got to say, we had most people saying yes, they thought their gut was the same as their intuition. So let me ask everyone the question, how many people are getting everything in their life exactly that they truly desire? And I'm going to say, I mean, I'm not either, right? How many of
Mhm.
you are getting exactly what you truly desire in your life? And I don't think too many people are going to actually respond. Some might, but most people, no, not me, says Yancey. So, yeah, and we probably most of the time try to listen to our gut, but it's not right. So, Patrick, I mean, the other side of this I want to get to is pretty interesting, and that is that this goes deep, but when we turn off our discernment,
Mhm.
like in the example where you were punished for actually being able to, you know, magically pick the card, right? Pick the lottery ticket, and we turn that off, then we may actually believe that the opinions, the energies, the guidance of other people is superior to our own. And then
Hmm.
now we displace our own true power and our intuition to theirs. And now we're on the path of all sorts of undesirables. Tell me about a little bit about that.
Yes,
Does that happen? Okay.
that happens all the time. We give our power away in countless different ways. And one of the goals of Lightbridge, once again, is to help you stand in your power and not give your power away to people that are perceived as authority figures, people that you want to impress, people that
Mm,
you might have a crush on, and therefore you want to connect with them on some level, and you give your power away to them. We give our power away to institutions. We give our power away to Facebook. Every time we get on Facebook and do the doom scrolling, we're giving our power away. Um, my goal with people is to have you stand in your power in such a way that you are living your authentic best life. And therefore, when you speak your truth with authenticity and somebody pushes back on you,
mm.
you can stand your ground and uh, not be not go into doubt about what your core beliefs are. So yes, personal empowerment is the central focus of just about everything that I do in Lightbridge. I wrote an entire book on personal power that I think is actually pretty good. So,
Oh,
uh,
yes.
yeah, that's the brain cells escape your mental prisons. Um, yeah. So the personal empowerment dimension of this goes hand in hand with the intuition, because if you are clear enough
Hmm.
of your biases, your judgments, your expectations, and so forth, that your intuition is really shining through, then you know how to navigate the world. In fact,
Exactly.
the fact of the matter is, you create your reality, you create your experience in the world at all times. You create your experience through your thoughts, your beliefs, your judgments, your expectations, your traumatic memories, your emotions, and so on. You are constantly broadcasting an energetic signal that is a symphony of different beliefs and tones and fears and emotions all being broadcast at once. And that's what's getting reflected back to you by the universe. So
100%.
if you are consumed with unrealistic or irrational fears about things, or I think it was Lydia who wrote that the amygdala, there's somebody wrote in the comments that the amygdala is constantly scanning for threats, and
Right.
you're going through life constantly on the lookout for threats. You're living in the expectation that something will always go wrong, then that's the experience that you're going to attract, because it's the energy that you're radiating outward into the quantum field. It gets reflected back to you perfectly.
And it's almost
So,
like, Patrick, almost like an unfettered psychic connection too, because if we are open and connecting and we have not necessarily a full understanding of how to connect or even as important, disconnect from certain things, we could be connecting into the energy of discord, the energy of financial lack, the frequency fields or the morphogenetic fields of people or groups that are going through, chaotic times. So there's a
mhm,
lot here on being able to use this to create your own reality in the future, but also keep yourself from taking on energy that could ultimately cause your demise, in many ways, shapes, and forms.
mhm.
So I want to talk a little bit about, for people that are not familiar with Lightbridge and how Lightbridge works as an amazing platform for this. Explain a little bit about that, because we're going to get into some of how Lightbridge becomes the platform of this. And I got to say, Patrick, in my training as a certified hypnotherapist, one of the things we learned how to do was actually access this higher self, and the teaching that Jerry Kine brought forward to all of us. over 20 years ago was that once you do, guys, this is going to blow you away. You have access to all different sorts of powers, abilities, and connections in the universe. Remote viewing,
Yeah.
healing others, sending healing to other people, being able to bilocate or being able to connect in and understand what's really going on, uh, future life progression. So when you say, yeah, you connect in to the higher self, and I'm like, this is what Jerry and we all were doing at Omni
Mhm.
Hypnosis 25 years ago. You're
Yeah.
100% correct, and you're the guy that tapped in it. You're one of the few people that I've actually the only one I've ever interviewed that gets it the way I was taught. So I'm excited. So what is Lightbridge?
Yeah. Okay. Lightbridge. Okay. Lightbridge is a system of total transformation that you can use for yourself or you can use to help other people. And essentially, what we do in Lightbridge is we connect with the higher self, which has every single one of those gifts online
Yep.
100% already. You, in what I call your egoic persona or your human persona, in this physical body, in this three-dimensional reality, you're subject to linear time and three-dimensional space, and you have to learn how to navigate the world and with the limited resources that are there and so forth. You have all of these gifts available to you, but they're dormant at the moment. And they're there, they're encoded in your DNA. They are ready to go. They're ready to be activated and turned on at any time. And if you do connect with your higher self, which is a misnomer because there is no connecting with your higher self because you are your higher self. You just
Yeah.
don't realize it because you're in this three-dimensional reality, whereas your higher self is you in that higher dimensional, multi-dimensional state with all of the gifts and powers online and none of the baggage of trauma and hatred and the good, bad, right, wrong, evil, and so forth that we get stuck in
Mm,
the three-dimensional world. So I call it light bridge because it bridges the gap between where you are right now as a human persona and your higher self. And it's called Light Bridge because not only does it bridge the gap, it shines a light on everything that's in the chasm in between so that you can heal the trauma, you can clear away the limiting belief systems, you can step into discernment, and you can step into your higher dimensional gifts,
mm.
even as you are still in a three-dimensional physical body. So it is a very powerful system. It involves a number of moving parts. One is subconscious reprogramming because we are driven by our subconscious mind.
Right.
It's been shown, it's been proven by neuroscientists that when you're faced with a decision, your subconscious mind will automatically already have made a decision about something before you're even consciously aware that there's a choice to be made. So your subconscious mind is super fast. And if it is making decisions based on fear
Yeah.
and based on the memory of past traumas, you are always going to limit yourself in your life. So we want to do the subconscious reprogramming to clear away the limiting belief systems that hold you back and to install more liberating belief systems in their place.
And this is why
Now,
people stay stuck, over and over again,
yeah,
because before you even get the opportunity, it could even be, and people might argue that the subconscious or at some level, a consciousness connects into what is coming. Maybe that email opportunity. Same thing happened to me, right? The opportunity was coming. My subconscious may have known it was coming through super consciousness, whatever else, and felt the field and just like, no, we're going to say no in that
yeah,
moment. And that's it. Before it even reaches your desk, you've already said no.
yeah.
Um, And then you go, why is it that I don't soul heal? Why is it my life doesn't get better? Why is it that everything passes me by? It may not
Mhm.
be passing you by. You may be saying no at a subconscious lower level of your existence before it even can reach you. It's like, the Amazon guys coming to your door and you're, sending a message to Amazon, dinging him saying, no, deliver it to another house or just turn on back, and that's kind of what a lot of people are doing all the time.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I agree entirely. It's really um,
Crazy.
profoundly, I don't know if sad's the right word, but it's disturbing how much we limit ourselves based on our fears of what might happen
Yeah.
and how out of control we are over making decisions without that fear. Because, like I said, that subconscious mind is already decided based on
Oh
fear
gosh.
not to do something. So the belief sculpting is the second tool that's in the Lightbridge system. Subconscious reprogramming is kind of foundational and basic because you're working on belief systems one at a time. You're eliminating limiting beliefs or installing new beliefs. That can be very, very slow, arduous work. Belief sculpting allows you to shift hundreds or dozens of beliefs simultaneously because they're all interwoven, they're all interconnected. So there's a technique called belief sculpting that allows us to take certain types of worldviews, such as poverty consciousness or victim consciousness, and work on all of the belief systems that make up poverty consciousness simultaneously. So that's a very, very powerful tool. The third tool in Lightbridge is energetic activations and attunements. Energetic activations, in particular DNA activations, so that those dormant gifts that you have can come online,
Yeah. I
and energetic infusions and so forth. You all know what activations are.
I gotta
And
say,
then,
can I say one thing?
sure,
I was,
sure.
I was looking at the little sign in my screen there behind me. I don't know what side it's on, but wherever you see that ladder or bridge of DNA going up to the sky behind my
Hmm.
head, think of that as like, your light bridge, right? Once you go higher, you now activate. You just said DNA activation. It's almost like there is a path to activate this higher part of you where this stuff starts coming online and then you choose your timeline. You choose, how you want your reality to be versus those opportunities, that love, that money, that new business, that well-being being directed before it even gets to your door to just go somewhere else. And that, I mean, how many of y'all feel like opportunities are passing you by and it's like they get a signal before they even come into your field, just go to someone else. Let me
Hmm.
know. Because that's a real big thing that I hear from folks. And the
Hmm.
same is true for healing. The same is true for love or anything else. We
Yeah.
have to actually create the bridge so that we are a receiver of those higher states, timelines, and opportunities that we truly want. And you know what's the weirdest thing, Patrick? At some level, our higher self also, we're going to have free will, but our higher self also wants us to experience that for, just the upliftment of our experience and consciousness. And yet
Hmm.
we push it away.
Your higher self, like I said, is you without all the baggage. And therefore, it knows exactly what you need to do to get from here to there. And it wants you to get from here to there. It wants to reach out a helping hand and pull you across the gap. So it's there to help pull you upward, even as you're doing the work on this physical level to climb upward. So you have help along the way,
Yeah.
and that brings us to the fourth element of Lightbridge, which is truly the revolutionary, exciting thing. I don't know of anyone who's doing this type of attunement, I call them light bridge attunements. And what we do with the light bridge attunement is we simply ask the higher self to put forth a blueprint or a template for a certain energy that it enjoys and experiences. And then we take that blueprint and we apply it to you in your current egoic persona in order to shift major energies so that you can live more like in alignment with the way your higher self would be. So these are Lightbridge attunements. I have done thousands of them, and I've gotten a lot of reports of success with the
I
attunements that
bet.
we do.
I bet.
Yeah.
And I want to, I mean, I'm super excited about this because this presents a new way for people to move forward. And, a lot of people think that the process has to be very slow, right? Oh,
Mhm.
okay, I have a decision, I'm aligned to, it's going to take me 10 years. One thing that I have found when you follow the higher self, and Patrick, you can let me know if this is true. There is something that Neville Goddard talked about. He was a, 20th century mystic called the bridge of incidents. They seem like coincidences, lucky
Mhm.
breaks, serendipities, situations that just kind of out of the blue, they seem random. But they're actually these shortcuts that will come
Yeah.
up that will get you to your outcome so fast, so quick, amazingly, but if you don't have the intuitive knowing to know when, a bridge of incidents is actually coming forward, you avoid them, you miss them,
Yeah.
and then you stay trapped. And I'll
Yeah.
give y'all a quick story about this, real quick. I mean, just really fast. When I was recently divorced and had my real estate and law business, I wanted to teach other things. I wanted to break in, so I had found somebody as a potential business partner that was in another city, and I still wanted to get married again one day and everything else. And I got a phone call from her. She said, we'd love for you to come teach at this seminar about internet and the law. So I was like, sure, I'll go teach at this seminar in Austin. I drove to Austin, taught at the seminar. And then while I was there, I had this idea like, well, there was this one person that I never reached out to, a really attractive female that I thought maybe I want to go on a date with her. And so I ended up texting her. And at that moment, her best friend had canceled. They were going to go see a movie, and the girl couldn't do it. So her best friend canceled. She was immediately available and literally like a block away from me, where I was. And we met, and that is now my wife, Sherry. Now, that bridge of incidents accelerated a couple processes for me. Immediately, I found, my wife through this weird thing of just going to Austin on a whim to teach a class last minute. And the person that asked me to teach the class, we ended up doing some different things together, and it kind of brought me into this industry. So, two
Yeah.
things happened at once in a very
Mhm.
rapid, short period of time. And that's how the bridge of incidents.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, guys, there are ways that we do not even understand. So, anything you want to say about that? And then I do want to grab some
I,
callers because you and me can go on this forever because it's
yeah,
just awesome stuff.
I love that phrasing. And what
Yeah.
it reminds us of is the fact that spiritual growth is not a passive process. That when you begin to step into your power and you begin to shed all of the limiting beliefs about what's possible and what's allowed for you to do and have and be, opportunities begin to emerge all around you, but it's your responsibility to take action to take advantage of those opportunities. So you may have opportunities that pop up right in front of you and scream at you, look at me, I am an opportunity for you to really transform your life. But if you don't do anything, if you sit back and just passively wait for your life to transform, then you're going to miss out on those opportunities. So there is action required. It doesn't mean that it has to be difficult action. Calling somebody up and asking them out on a date, that might be a little bit scary, but it isn't arduous hard work.
It wasn't.
Uh,
It
yeah.
wasn't hard work at all. It was just like, oh, this thing is happening. This is exciting. I'm gonna go. Oh wow, what
Yeah.
this? Oh yeah, it is just like boom, bum, 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 bum. So yeah, incredible. People love that story.
Yeah.
But guys, this is and this is guided, I believe, by that higher self, by that psychic knowing, and
Hmm.
it's just guiding you where to go. Now,
Yeah.
I, I'm excited. I'm excited for everybody here because we're going to talk about more. Can we grab maybe some callers? And I don't know if there's a particular theme or type of question that maybe would be really appropriate for today. I know Lightbridge works for so many things, but I don't know if there's any particular area maybe we should ask folks to share that they're wondering about or
Well,
problem they're having.
not any one specific area because I'm happy going anywhere, but I would like to request that you have something specific in mind because every now and then the question arises along the lines of, would you just read my energy and tell me what I need to do? And that's not very satisfying for me or for anyone else who's listening. So have something specific in mind.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go to Charmaine. And Charmaine, thanks for being here. I'm going to send you a unmute request. If you want to go ahead and turn on your camera, you're welcome to do so. Charmaine, what's going on? How can we help you today?
I just have a question regarding if someone has been through a lot of programs, certifications, and intuition courses. I'd like to know what's missing in that. Will your light bridge help that person like consolidate
So
everything?
is the question that you've taken a lot of courses on intuition development, but they haven't really kicked in yet?
They've kicked in, but I feel like there's so much gap still that
Yeah,
needs to. Okay, thank you.
yeah. So, two things. A lot of the work that I do will activate dormant energies and powers and gifts that you have. If those energies, those powers are already online, but they're muted for whatever reason, it will help to expand them. So if you do a light bridge attunement, for example, for clairvoyance, but your clairvoyance is turned off at the moment, it will turn it on, and then you'll begin to have the experience and you have to navigate the world figuring out, oh my gosh, what is this thing that I'm seeing? Is it something that's in reality? You need to figure out how to use your clairvoyance at that point. If you're already clairvoyant, it will amp up the volume. It will make it more powerful. So if you already have a number of gifts online, they're going to just be more efficient for you in the future. Is that making
Thank
sense?
Yes, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, Patrick, I think I just muted you. Can you unmute yourself? Charmaine dropped off. Sorry.
Okay.
I get so excited about this stuff, guys. I mean, it's literally the reason this gets me excited is, we can clear, we can release, but when we actually connect to, like you said, the higher strand DNA, the higher version of ourselves, that's actually when humanity liberates. Because like if
Mhm.
every person is operating from that higher self, some of the tragedies, we see that stuff goes away in my hope, or becomes very, very rare. So this is a very big and important topic. I want to hear from somebody that wants a new life in 2026, or maybe just bettering their life. We've got Linda Nystrom. Linda, I don't know if you want a new life in 2026, or you just want to refine some things. What's going on, Linda? And if you want to turn on your camera, you're welcome to, or not. What's happening?
Hi, yeah, I'd love a new life. Oh, it's so good to be here. I've had a lot of long periods in my time when the synchronicities flow and all that, and the intuition goes and that. But my specific question is, uh, m- my mom is in assisted living and she's 97. And recently, I had no say so in it. I'm not power of attorney. And a family member, I feel like I was totally gaslit, my sister and I, and they moved my mom to memory care unit, which she isn't. I used to work with dementia patients as a nurse. She didn't need to be there, and they moved her from a two-bedroom apartment to a studio apartment. And personally, I was feeling good, and things were smooth and happy, and in a high vibration and that. And I don't know how to it makes me so sad. It's just really like crushed like me down and the with my family, I have no desire to see two of my family members
Mhm.
that I just, and I don't know how to navigate this
Yeah.
personally. I go see my mom and that, and she's adjusting okay, but I don't know how to personally navigate to keep my vibration so I don't personally crash because
Yes.
it's so sad. So, yeah.
Mhm.
And the other thing this does, just from my own awareness, is trying to connect into those higher states is super hard because you're in pattern where there's a lot of, sadness and
Yes.
feelings of lower energy. So for everyone here, like some of this, we do have to soul heal things and so we can rise. So Patrick, just as you plug in, any message for Linda today?
Yes, this kind of reminds me of what I said at the very beginning, that this is the time of year when family conflict is heightened. So the first thing is that this feeling that you have of not wanting to connect with others and the anger and resentment that is built up inside of you, it might be overinflated. Just because of the time of year and the energy that's in the collective consciousness. So that's one thing. But that doesn't change the problem, and it doesn't give you a solution to being able to raise your vibration.
Yeah. And
So,
so,
whenever you're in pain, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional, it can feel like the entire universe is constructed out of pain, and you can get stuck in it. You can get mired in it in such a way that it eats away at every level of your life, and you don't really have a tool to climb up out of it. That's the normal human experience with certain types of pain. Um, the Some of the tools in Lightbridge allow you to overcome that and actually raise your vibrational energy and stand in your new vibrational state. When that happens and you're vibrating a new energy that gets reflected out into the universe, unexpected opportunities emerge. So a lot of times these unexpected opportunities are things that you've never thought of, and you probably wouldn't think of if you were to sit down and try. So creative solutions can emerge that you can take advantage of. Um,
yeah,
so
I understand that. And I'm sorry, like my energy is, because I know my energy can be really powerful and I don't
mm,
want to bring anybody down. I
yeah,
wanted to,
let's clear that belief
yeah,
right now that you um, negatively impact other people with your
okay.
energy, because your energy is yours. It's the intensity of your energy that you feel. This belief system that your energy is so powerful that it has an impact on other people that's negative limits you from interacting with people in a meaningful way. So you keep your distance.
Yes,
Um,
and when I'm in a really high state, I've been like literally attacked from like just they go crazy. I've had my brother go crazy on me. Like just like a high state, it's like I want to get
yeah,
into stay in that high
there
state.
there are a number of things that are out of alignment here. So maybe a
Yeah.
one-on-one session is the way to go here, because like I said before, when your intuition comes online and you don't know how to use it, and you've never been trained that it even exists, uh, pain can erupt, and that's a good reason to shut down your intuition. You're living that type of thing right now, where if you
Wow.
increase your vibrational state, negative things happen, and your only solution is to lower your vibrational state again. You've got to come up with a
Mm.
new set of responses for when you're in your high vibrational state. There's some belief system here in place that says, I'm forbidden to have high vibrational energy because it dishonors or angers other people who are in lower states of energy. And therefore, you hold yourself back and
Oh.
knock your energy down again.
Okay, that makes sense. So I'm getting the reflection back from other people, basically. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Okay. So then
Yeah.
do you think the package would help too with that? Like your regular, I've had some of your packages before, but
Yeah.
like financially is
Mhm.
so, but I'm not too scared about, I
Well,
have,
I think a one-on-one session is probably the way to go so we can really pinpoint what the limiting beliefs are that are holding you back. And,
uh,
it could be any number of belief systems. I'm forbidden. It could be a past life energy pattern
yeah,
where
yeah.
you were punished for having energy that other people did not, and so forth.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you, Linda.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I gotta say, I
Thank
mean,
you.
I really recommend Patrick. He was the one 2 years before my tooth went abscess, told me that one of my back teeth in my and left side of my jaw, well, I may want to get looked at. You said that, Patrick, and we did a little reading, and
Mhm.
about 3 months ago, I had that tooth pulled. So you were just 2 years early. I was like, is this guy for real? But you were absolutely right. It was that tooth. It was, it
Mhm.
was in there, in the field. I want to go to another caller. This is really interesting because one of the things that you saw with our dear guest Linda is like she's got this intuitive knowing, she's got this awareness, but just like you said, every time it expands, that empathy and sort of the negative feelings of others jams it back down. And then how do you get out of some of those money cycles or some of those lack struggle cycles or those emotional roller coasters if what really could set you free is getting knocked down all the time?
Mhm.
And so y'all see kind of the catch 22 here, right? My higher self set me free. I mean, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, is because those lower vibrations that were keeping me in fear, eventually I was like, no, I'm going to do it anyway. And here I am. And I got another question that's pretty interesting. And Lorraine kind of put it as a statement, and I tend to agree. She said, I kind of believe, Darius, this was your life plan before you came to Earth. We all have a plan, and things just work out to make it happen. Well, here's the thing to think, Lorraine, about it. Possibly try this on. Yes. And my higher self was trying to get me on that plan all along, but I kept avoiding it, right?
Mhm.
So at some level, when you connect into this psychic knowing, you can get on that plan and start moving
Mhm.
forward. So yeah, I think we all have a higher timeline, 100%. What do you think, Patrick?
Yeah.
And I want to go to one more question because what came
Yeah.
first, the chicken or the egg? Did I create it or was that part of my? It doesn't matter. I just want to experience it.
Well, in your case, it was part of your soul contract, and
Yep.
this is the pathway that you were on. But if you have a lot of fears about stepping into your power, the belief systems, such as it's impossible for me to succeed at this,
Yeah.
I'm forbidden to succeed at this, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough to succeed at this, it's dangerous in some way for me to go down this pathway. Or in a number of cases, people have the belief it's morally wrong for me to go down this pathway. I had people in my family, evangelical Christians in my family, basically tell me that I was studying demonology by wanting to do something that was not explicitly Christian. So you may have that belief system. It's morally wrong for me to play around with energy that I've never been trained in. You may even have the belief system that lack of intuition or the struggle that you have in your life, it defines you as a person. It defines your experience in the world. And all of these limiting belief systems are going to stand in the way of you stepping onto your true pathway. So your pathway's there. It's laid out. The red carpet is unrolled in front of you, and your higher self is just asking you to step onto the red carpet. But then those
Mm,
fears, I'm not good enough, it's
that's right.
dangerous, I'm not allowed to. What will my friends think? What will I dishonor my parents by doing something they don't approve of? All of these belief systems cause you to run away from the red carpet. So
Yeah.
yes, if yeah.
Man,
Hmm.
we gotta get on that carpet, guys. I mean, 100%. And the thing is that your highest path also helps a lot of people. It also lets other people have faith to move on their highest path. I want to go to Mariola, and just a little aside on the whole thing about Christ teaching and miracles and such is Christ was an energy worker. There's a lot
Hmm.
of information out there. After I think it was King Herod said,
Hmm.
we're going to kill all the firstborn boys. Joseph took Jesus to Egypt, and he
Hmm.
studied, from what I hear, a lot there. And what's interesting is, just an aside too, the Council of Nicaea basically made the decision that they were going to equate Jesus to the level of God, right? At
Hmm.
that level of being like an omnipotent being, and they decided specifically to take away sort of the human aspect of Jesus so that his powers and so forth would be something like he was God, not something that we could do, not something that we could be like an ascended light worker, grid worker type being. So they basically took it out of the realm of something in humanity's reach and said, hey, you know what? This is just, he was a God just like God, so it's not something any of y'all could do. So, how much are we pushed down from actually connecting to this higher self that has so much ability and power? It boggles my mind. Obviously, Mariola, you've got a question today for Patrick. I could go on and on. What's going on, Mariola? Let's hear from you.
Thanks for choosing me. Hi. The
Hi.
question I have, I seem to be triggered by the word maintenance. Whenever I think about maintenance, whether it is body maintenance or property or whatever, it's kind of triggers my overwhelm and anxiety. So I was
Hmm.
wondering what Patrick is picking up on, where it's coming from, and if we could do something about
Yes.
clearing it or shifting.
Yes. So triggers are almost always connected with trauma of some sort. So you develop a trigger or a hypersensitivity to something because you have had an experience in the past where something really horrible happened in relation to whatever that topic is. So there is a protocol for clearing trauma in Lightbridge that's extremely powerful. We can go back into your past lives. It can also be trauma that you've witnessed somebody else experience. It can be trauma that's in your family heritage that you yourself never experienced, but it gets handed down like a tradition through the
Mm,
family line. And that creates the trigger in you that causes you to react in a hyper emotional way or to shut down altogether when you're facing whatever it is that's triggering you. Is that making sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Is there
So what?
anything we could do now a bit?
Mhm. We can do this for you and for everyone on the call.
let's do it.
Um,
Now,
yeah.
hers is around maintenance. So then maybe I don't know how it would work for everyone else, but yeah, let's do that. And then in just a moment, we're also going to be doing Expand Your Spirit Guide team. So we've got a
Yeah.
little double taster today. So thank you, Mariola, for that. This is awesome. We're going to get more. I love it. I always want
Yeah,
more.
it's like about kind of looking after things.
Hmm.
It
Yes.
would be another word for maintenance, like looking after the body, for example, all the things you are supposed to do to be healthy, eat well and exercise and brush your teeth and all this stuff.
Hmm.
And the same with property, so it's
Yes.
in certain condition. So it's like looking after things. So
Yes. Yes, and it's hard to necessarily pin down exactly what the trauma is or what created the hypersensitivity, but we're going to set the intention that it actually happened. Now, this we can spend an entire week talking about this, so I want to compress it really quickly. Whenever you have a traumatic experience that you're not able to process in the moment that the trauma happens, it gets pushed down into your energy field. And when it gets pushed down into your energy field, it doesn't just vanish or evaporate, it becomes part of the energetic signature that you radiate at all times. And therefore, that trauma becomes something that you are broadcasting to the universe, to the quantum field reflects it back to you with opportunities to experience more of the same. So the trauma eventually devolves into what I call a traumatic loop or a karmic loop, in which the trauma repeats itself over and over and over again on autopilot. Um, and this could be the trauma of being in a bad relationship or a car crash or any number of different things. Being institutionalized in a past life, being killed, being burnt at the stake for having powers that other people didn't have. This will leave an imprint in your system. So we need to clear away the energy of that imprint so that it doesn't happen again in the future. So in order to identify a trauma, I want everyone on the call to think about a repeating pattern that exists in your life that is negative. It could be something like you are dating the same abusive boyfriend in different bodies over and over and over again. And every time you date somebody new, turns into the same person that you dated previously that you wanted to get away from, that sort of thing. Or you could have, financial collapse after financial collapse after collapse. So look for a repeating pattern.
And this is
And
for
then
everyone, okay? So
for
everyone,
everyone,
let's
yes.
find that repeating pattern. I've got one, so I found mine. Let me know that y'all
Mhm.
have found yours, okay?
So it's going to be a different repeating pattern for pretty much everyone on the call.
I've got one. It's for someone on my watch when I was looking after someone getting hurt in some way.
Okay.
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 Interesting.
So we're going to go back to the very first time in all lifetimes where you've had this experience or something similar. And we don't need to relive the traumatic experience. We don't even need to intellectually understand exactly what happened. We're simply setting the intention to going back to the very first time it happened with the understanding that all of the future repetitions of it are echoes of that very first trauma. And now, while you are in the awareness of what that trauma is, even though you don't know the details, I'm going to send some energy into your past your past life in order to remove the traumatic residue that got stuck in your energy field. And as we're removing the traumatic residue stuck in your energy field that causes it to repeat over and over again on autopilot, we're going to clear away any and all reasons that you might have for holding on to that residue. You might feel that you need the memory of that trauma so that it never happens again. And therefore you're holding on to it. But that is the irony built into the law of attraction. If you hold on to the energy of something so that it never happens again, then you're radiating the energy of the thing that you don't want. That gets reflected back to you by the quantum field, and you end up reliving it again. Want to clear away any and all energy where you might feel that you need to hold on to the traumatic residue for the lessons that it has. We want to be able to keep the lessons without the traumatic residue. Anywhere you're holding on to it because it gives you stories to tell, it's part of your history. There's the drama that's really interesting to talk about. We want to clear that away as a reason for holding on to the residue and make it so that you can talk about your traumatic experiences without needing to relive them and feel them as you're talking about them. Okay, and anywhere and everywhere you've decided that this traumatic experience simply defines you as a person, it defines your experience in the world. Want to clear that away because that will cause you to hold on to the residue of the trauma. And as we're clearing the residue from the trauma, that sticky, gummy energy that gums up your energy field and causes you to radiate that energetic pattern out to the universe, that energetic gumminess is floating up into the cosmos. It's going into Creator's light so it can be burnt up and used elsewhere. Okay, beautiful. And now, for some of you, the trauma that you've experienced that repeats on autopilot has crystallized in physical form in your body, in certain conditions, ailments, pains in certain parts of your body, arthritis, for example. Let's do some physical healing as well. So I'm just going to flood your system with some uplifting physical healing energy. Beautiful. Everyone take a deep breath and hold it for a moment. And release when you're ready. Okay.
Thank you very much. I feel tingly all over.
That's good. I love it. I love it. The
That's
tingles.
awesome. Oh, Mariola, thank you. This is great. All right, everyone, let us know what you're feeling. And then, Patrick, while we kind of are on the edges of that experience, I know we're going to do something with our spirit guide expansion, expanding the spirit guide team. Do you want to walk into that, or maybe we'll get comments on both these experiences in a moment? What do you want to do?
Okay, well, let's do this.
Awesome.
So every single one of us, every single one of you has a team of spiritual, psychic entities, beings, and so forth that are there to help you out. And you may be aware of them, or you may be not aware of them at all. But they're there, ready to help you, and they are helping you. They will help step in. Guardian angels, for example, they're they're there. I've got so many guardian angel stories that are really profoundly moving that I could spend an hour talking about them. So they're there even if you don't realize that they're there. Now, the thing is, there are beings out there that are willing to help, and they want to join your team of guides and helpers.
Mm,
And you can set the intention to invite a specific type of being in onto your team. So, for example, I might have difficulty with financial issues, and therefore I want to have on my team of spiritual advisors a uh, financial expert, a money coach. Or I may have difficulty uh, bringing myself to do my fitness routine, and therefore I want to bring on a fitness coach onto my team of helpers. So let's all set the intention to add one additional being to your cadre. So think about some arena of your life where you need some coaching, where you could use some motivational support, and let's um, set the intention to invite in a new energy to help you out so we can expand your team and just focus on one for now. We don't want to dilute the energy by inviting in dozens of different beings right away. So I, for example, am inviting in um, an exercise coach because I want to get my physical fitness back in alignment again. Okay. And we're simply sending out an invitation, we're sending out a call, and we're opening ourselves to receive this new being that will now join your team. Okay, and you may see the being, you may want to introduce yourself, or you may be like me, the type of person who I don't ever see them face to face. I know they're there, but I don't really interact with them face to face. That can happen for whatever reason. A lot of times people feel disconnected from their guides because their guides know that if they were to connect, you would rely on them too much. You might use them as a crutch, and they don't want that for you. Okay. Okay, now everyone take a deep breath and hold it for a moment and release when you're ready. Hmm. So you can expand your spiritual team um, over and over again till you get the right combination. Now, one of the things that's sad, or it feels sad, is that every now and then one of your helpers, one of your spirit guides, will drift away from you.
Hmm.
It can feel like you're being abandoned. But the fact of the matter is that the spirit guide knows that you no longer need them, and therefore for your benefit they actually disengage from you, and you might feel some emptiness inside when a being disengages. Whenever you invite in new members of your team, there is the possibility that a couple of other members of your team will disengage and move on. So that melancholy that you might feel after a situation, after a process like this, simply recognize that it's for your benefit for them to move on and be replaced with something more appropriate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let us know, everyone, what you experienced here. We did two powerful processes back to back. The first was letting go of that trauma, letting go of that feeling that was maybe holding us back. And I want to know what you picked and how you're feeling right now. And then the other one was activating another spirit guide on your team to move forward in some way, shape, or form. And Patrick, I mean, what I got was this feeling of always like self critiquing to the point that you just kind of get paralyzed and you're like, no, it's not good enough. Let's go do it again. It's not good enough. Keep going. And sometimes
Mhm.
that's useful because you elevate, but then at some point it shuts you down. And I worked on that, and now it feels just kind of like I don't have that same feeling anymore. Like I have to overanalyze a bajillion times. And what's really interesting about that for me, and maybe this happened to a lot of other people, is spirit gives you this idea, that gives you this thing to pursue. In fact, Prince used to say at 3 in the morning when he called his producer, "We got to go to the record studio right now and record this track because if I
Mhm.
don't like do it right now, it's going to go to someone else." And he literally
Mhm.
was on record saying it'll go to Michael Jackson. So we got to go
Mhm.
right now at 3 a.m. because it's coming in, and I got to get it on a. Yeah. So
Mhm.
when we don't trust or when we hold back, those things go to someone else. They go somewhere else. Someone else brings them forward into the world. So for me, it's like I felt that was gone. So I'm super excited about that. Let us know what you all felt and what happened. Linda says so much yawning, still lightheaded. Another person said, "Wow, so many chills." Says Lisa. Amazing. So let us know what's going on with y'all and what you felt, and also what you wanted to release, what you wanted to let go of, and also maybe what guide you brought on your team. And very cool stuff as people are plugging in here today. And Patrick, I want to ask about this as people are writing in and coming back. One of the things that you want people to do is open up to this intuition, the psychic power, and at some level, actually like go forward into maybe the places and realms that they know they need to get into to have their best life, which is like following that intuition to their dreams. Why is that important to you? And what have you happen in people's lives when they do that?
So what ultimately the question is, what's the benefit of all this program? Yeah. So
What have you seen? Yeah, what have you seen happen with
yeah,
people and why is that
I
important?
have seen uh, financial transformations that happen very rapidly. I've seen people overcome illnesses that they thought were permanent and for life. I've seen people fall in love after years of romantic stress and disorder and bad relationship after bad relationship. I've also seen people who were in bad marriages
Hmm.
finally find the strength and ability to leave that marriage and begin to grow on their own. So I've seen all sorts of different type of things. One specific thing that comes to mind is I worked with a 16-year-old girl who had a very dire ailment in which she was forced to live in a clean room. She
Oh,
was,
wow.
one of those bubble girls, because she was so sensitive to any type of toxin that she would get sick and potentially die if she ever went out into the world. So she had been living in this clean room for several years, and we did about 3 months of work together. And I remember it like it made me cry at the time. I'm getting emotional now,
Mm.
when she sent me a message saying that for the first time in who knows how many years, she was finally able to hug her mother again, that her mother was able to touch her physically without worry about her getting sick. And then about a month after that, she sent me a message saying that she was out in the world and that she had taken up swimming as
Oh my
a
God.
sport. So the profound
Wow.
transformation in that person. Um,
Wow.
yeah,
That
but
is amazing.
mostly it's about seeing people step into their power and learn how to say no and learn how to live life on their terms rather than constantly sacrificing themselves for the needs of other people. This is such a common thread with new clients of mine that they spend their entire life sacrificing their own needs and desires and wants and money on behalf of other people because they feel this duty to be of service to everyone else, and they're
Wow.
depleting themselves, they're exhausting themselves, making themselves sick, sacrificing themselves for others. Um, there's a lot of limitation in that. And it's good to see people finally learn how to say no without feeling guilty saying no.
I agree. Yeah, well, we're going to be talking about a way that if you want to bring a new life forward and really align into a space where Lightbridge creates the pathway to your highest timeline, essentially, we're going to be talking a little bit about what Patrick is doing because we've got something all new that we've just actually released. And it is actually because of where we are in the calendar, right? That a new time on the planet is coming, that we're in this new year experience, in this energy of new beginnings, and it's all new and it's called Unleash the Power of Your Higher Self. And I could say wholeheartedly, in my own way, I let my higher self guide me to nearly everything I have. And when I just tried to do it through my own mind and my own ideas, it never worked. I mean, it was like I was always doing something to please someone else that I thought was going to make someone else happy. I was never choosing me. And if you're tired of choosing everyone else but you, and you're struggling, I think those are two big signs that your higher self needs to begin to have a little bit of the steering wheel, so to speak, right, Patrick, in their life.
Yeah.
Tell us about
Mhm.
the program because, it's like when they say, take Jesus, take the wheel. It's kind of like, okay, hire yourself, take the wheel because I'm working way too hard. I'm not succeeding. My body's breaking down. And, I'm still dealing with the same problems for 20 years. It's like there's got to be a way out of this. And there is. There absolutely is. So tell us what this is about.
Okay, well, there are three different packages that I'm offering. Just very, very quickly as an overview, in the first package, I'm offering my Intuition Harmonics audio package, which is a set of Lightbridge attunements that will bring those dormant codes online for you.
Wow.
So whatever form of intuition we're looking at, whether it's clairaudience, clairvoyance, remote viewing, holographic vision, telepathy, and so forth, this is a collection of attunements to bring those online. If you already have those gifts, it will help expand and strengthen them
Wow.
in such a way that you don't get overwhelmed by them. It's very important to do this in a gentle fashion so that you don't suddenly get bombarded with psychic energy that drives you crazy. So that's the first package in a nutshell. The second package is my advanced intuition course. And the advanced intuition course has, oh, I think it's 24 lectures, all about what intuition is and how it works and how you can embrace it in your life. So we talk about intuition activators, intuition killers, intuition magnifiers, the different
Wow.
types of intuition that exist, and so forth. And then it also includes some practical exercises for developing your intuition. So package B includes both the intuition harmonics audio attunements and the course itself. Package C is uh, I'll be teaching the Lightbridge Foundations course. This is your opportunity to learn Lightbridge for yourself. So
Wow.
you can learn the technique that I do um, in such a way that you can transform your life and transform the lives of your loved ones or even build it into your career. So you could
Amazing.
become a Lightbridge practitioner, or if you already have a practice, you can just simply add a new set of tools to the skill set that you already have and break into Lightbridge whenever it's appropriate.
Well,
So
I've got
that's all of
two
it in a nutshell.
two surprises that we didn't mention. So, and they're
Mhm.
pretty big surprises here. Actually, three surprises, but I want to share a little bit about this. First of all, if I didn't drop the link, it's at uwealthrevolution.com/ Patrick 30. So check that out. It's super, super amazing, guys, because one of the things that Patrick is doing is Patrick is actually going to be including one-on-one sessions with him in package B and C. Package B, which is literally like the transformation package, right, to move into 2026, is 45 minutes. You're going to get 45 minutes of Patrick Prohaska. Package C, and if you want to grab that, you're going to get two private sessions, two private
It's
sessions of Patrick.
actually more than that.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
okay. We're going to talk about it. But let's stick with B really fast because this is going to be 45 minutes with you. And this is reaching into your subconscious mind and freeing yourself from the blocks that could make 2026, right, the same year that you've experienced for the last couple of years,
Mhm.
or when you release those, could make 2026 the best year of your life. And I don't say that lightly, right? Because we
Mhm.
have the creative power is in our hands. Like, so tell me about kind of what happens on those sessions. That's the same thing when you predicted that tooth and other things with me. So, I mean, there could be some really important information that your higher self wants to get to you before the year or at during the year or before, spring, before summer that you want to get on this session with Patrick. But tell us a little bit about those sessions in package B, Patrick.
So, as you can imagine, every session is different based on the needs and desires of the client that I'm working with. So, typically, I request that you come in with an agenda in mind. Often we drift away from the agenda because what looks like one problem is actually something completely different. So, what I mean by that, for example, you may have some serious financial problems, and you come to me to help clear away those financial blockages. I might discover during the session that the true problem is actually in the arena of romance, and that
Mm,
you have some very serious blockages to developing intimacy with other people. And financial problems are the tool that you use to avoid romance. I don't have enough money to go out on a date. I don't have enough money to buy clothing to make
wow.
myself look good for a date. So, what looks like a financial problem is actually a sex or a romance issue. So we uh, often hold that agenda loosely. And in about 45 minutes, we can do a lot of energy work. We can tap into the subconscious mind to identify the limiting beliefs that cause you to have a specific pattern, and then we can do the light bridge attunements that will energize you in a brand new way so that you can radiate a new vibrant energetic signature out into the cosmos and have the quantum field reflect that back to you with opportunities for whatever it is you desire.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
these are the kind of things that pay for themselves. You know, one opportunity, one shift, one doorway, as Neville Goddard said, bridge of incidents because you're no longer blocked. And now you have another possibility and a new job, a new relationship, a trip. You don't necessarily need to have huge education or huge amounts of
Mhm.
money or huge amounts of being a perfect person to have a wonderful life. I wasn't a perfect person. I still had my fears and blocks, but I was open enough to that higher self wisdom that I got moved into the right place at the right time. So this is a piece that I really feel strongly about. It's like you can peel the onion forever, or you can get into the stream of that higher wisdom that we're talking about, that intuition, that higher self knowing, and start living that life now.
Mhm.
And as you do, things start releasing and resolving, and you become the person that you were designed to be. I love it,
Yeah.
Patrick. So cool. So everyone, I'm going to say package A is kind of like do it yourself. Package B is some one-on-one time with Patrick. But package A, Patrick, I mean, I was scrolling through this, and this is a massive, incredible. If you've had any questions, guys, about any of these things, or like, man, it'd be really cool, to be able to activate my five clairs. It'd be amazing to have my pineal gland activated. Or it'd be great to be able to remote view, right? And maybe like kind of see what's going on, with things. Maybe to have a holographic vision. I mean, this is all in package A. This is like the steps of higher consciousness right here, Patrick.
Mhm.
Anything you want to say about this?
This package includes more than just activations and attunements that will turn on these gifts. There's also elements of management. So, if you were to turn on all of your intuitive gifts right away, you would probably be overwhelmed. So,
Mm,
there's some energy work here to help you manage that sense of overwhelm. Uh, Also, if you were to turn on your intuitive gifts and recognize that you have gifts online that other people don't, you might fall into the trap of spiritual ego.
mm.
So there's a session here on how to soothe the spiritual ego so that you don't get into the spiritual Olympics with other people. So the management of intuition is every bit as important as the intuition itself. And then there is a brain balancer uh,
Hmm.
session, and there is an energetic detox session. So to purge opportunistic entities and other energies that might want to attach themselves to your body because now you taste different, you taste better because you have your intuition turned online.
Really?
So,
Are you
yeah.
really? Okay, that's not something you're saying. Once we activate, if we don't know how to manage that, we can actually become, I guess, the bright, shiny object for undesirables that
Mhm.
want to tap in. It's kind of like I always tell people if you don't know how to channel or you don't know what you're channeling, don't open the door, right? It's kind of like,
Mhm.
you need to have discernment and management skills before you go into these realms. And thank you for including that, Patrick. I want to talk about some of the things in here, and then I want to talk about the certification because, guys, this is a absolutely huge opportunity to actually not only align to your gifts and turn it on, but also at some level to move down the path of Lightbridge, not just to better your life, but maybe to help other people. So we're going to talk about package C because that's actually part of a certification that Patrick is doing. One of the things you're doing here as well is a lucid dream workshop in, it looks like package B. I believe it's a bonus, or is that package
Mhm.
C? Let me see where that is. Is that B? Yeah, I think it's, oh no, that's package A. So you got a lucid dream workshop. Lucid dreaming, this was another thing, right? Tell me about this. This is where we literally can be in control over the experience of our dream, and then from there, gain wisdom, move through higher dimensional paths. Tell us about that.
Yeah, there are actually two related bonuses in Package A. One of them is a workshop on sleep
Okay.
and how
Yes.
to actually sleep effectively, sleep through the night and wake up refreshed in the morning. And that
Wow.
kind of goes hand in hand with the lucid dreaming workshop. And these are pre-recorded audios. So the lucid dreaming workshop is, I think, super powerful because it allows you to tap into the dreamscape state of mind where you're in that theta brainwave state where
Yes.
you can reshuffle things in your subconscious mind really easily. The goal ultimately is to bring your lucid dream into your waking state of consciousness. When you're lucid dreaming, the basic definition of lucid dreaming is that you, number one, know that you're dreaming. And
Hmm.
number two, because you know that you're dreaming, you can take conscious control over whatever it is you do in the dream. And you can fly, you can transform yourself magically into different beings. You can do all sorts of things. You can jump timelines and so forth. Um, our goal is to bring that into waking consciousness.
That's right. Yeah.
So I love the lucid dreaming workshop because not only can we use lucid dreaming for fun, it's really fun to go flying somewhere in a dream. You can use it as a workshop as well. So if you want to practice your basketball layup in your lucid dream, you can definitely start practicing your basketball layup. And scientific studies show that that type of um, imaginative work carries over into your real day-to-day life.
Yeah. Or
So
solve a
yeah,
problem or, release a block or something, or be able to navigate higher
yeah,
consciousness and bring that wisdom down into your field versus
yeah,
just kind of having a random dream stream of all sorts of undesirable or nightmarish things happening. It's like you
yeah.
actually now start to control those other worlds and
Yeah, so
choose, Yeah.
for me, like the example for me is I literally was able to increase my bowling average from somewhere around 110 to about 160 by bowling in my lucid dream. So I practiced in the lucid dream, and sure enough, next time I went bowling, my score improved dramatically.
Could you practice in the lucid dream receiving money or receiving like, and I don't want to say lottery, I'm not big on like win the lottery, but
Mhm.
being able to hold, a wealth consciousness and receive money and be abundant and create that template in the dream. And then when you wake up, it's like, oh, I feel differently. I've actually
Yeah.
now enmeshed myself in that timeline. I mean, that's really where you have massive transformation is the enmeshment of timelines.
Yes, yes. And
Oh yeah, that's cool.
a lot of the subconscious belief system work that's so crucial gets taken care of automatically while you're lucid dreaming. All those belief systems about
Yes.
is it possible? Is it dangerous? Am I allowed? Am I good enough? Am I worthy? And so forth. All of that can be resolved in the lucid dream as well.
Well, a lot of people are wanting to grab your one-on-one time. Linda says she wants to upgrade from A to B. What is there's a lot here, guys. I mean, this is really taking the step to shift who you truly are at a very, very big level and being able to actually tap into that intuition for what I like to call the golden timeline. Like everyone has a golden timeline or maybe several and really change course if you're having that struggle. So Patrick, the one-on-one time is where it's like, hey Patrick, I keep having this block. I've heard all the CDs. I want you to go in and help me formulate what we're going to do so I don't deal with this anymore in 2026. Is that what
Yeah.
happens on these sessions?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, guys, if you, yeah, get Patrick's help.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about some of your favorite stories, but I want to go into kind of what's going to happen in Package C. And just to let y'all know, if y'all want to grab this, we have some early bird discounts I'm going to share real quick, because these are, I know, going to fill up quick, especially this time of the year. A lot of people are really wanting to get out of the old struggle. So Package A, it's 111, which is a huge value for everything that's going to be here. It's absolutely amazing. Package A is 111. Package B is actually the first 50 people are going to get it for 277. There's a $20 discount. Otherwise, it's 297, and this includes 45 minutes with Patrick Prohaska, and tons of things here to plug into. Or you can also lock in your space, two payments of 149. Um, who would be best served by getting a one-on-one session? Like what type of person or what type of situation is one where you say, you know what? I think you need to see me. We need to work on this. Let's get it out of your field. Let's move you into a bright, time on earth for you.
Yes. Anybody who's blocked and is stuck in a repetitive pattern that causes pain or limitation,
Mm.
anybody who's stuck can benefit from a one-on-one session.
Yeah, and if you're tired of
Yeah.
like racking your brain trying to do it yourself, I had a problem the other day. I was trying to figure out this one thing, and I kept going on and on, staying up, thinking about it. Then all of a sudden, my wife was like, "Hey, did you try this?" I was like, "Oh my God, the problem's gone!" Right? It's so easy to think we have the answer because
Mhm.
we can't necessarily see the answer from the same state that's been creating the problem. And
Yeah.
generally, our consciousness right now is the state that's creating our reality. And it's very hard to get out of that reality in the same fixed system that created the problem, right? And that's not to say we're the problem. It just means we need help sometimes. And I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in Package C, because this, you said people get two private sessions with you, which
They
is
get more
amazing.
than
They
that.
get
They
more than
get
that. So
even
tell
more.
me about it. Tell
Yes.
me about it.
So, this includes the Lightbridge Foundations course, which is the introductory course to Lightbridge. I call it an introductory course, but it actually gives you every single thing that you need in order to be a Lightbridge practitioner. I
Wow.
do have an advanced course in which we fine tune everything and we find shortcuts to make it a little bit more easy and effective. But everything that you need to be a Lightbridge practitioner or to incorporate this new set of tools into your existing toolbox, it's all there in the foundations course. And I'll be teaching the course beginning January 11th. It's a 3-week course. The vast, well, I'd say 5 sessions out of the course are going to be live
Hmm.
Zoom sessions in which we go through a lot of material. And then other portions of the course are dripped out as pre-recorded audio recordings. So it doesn't require a huge chunk of time. It's typically every Sunday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. We get together and do some work for 4 consecutive weeks. And then there is a muscle testing workshop that I'll be doing as well that will be live. And then everything else is pre-recorded. So basically, you can study at your own pace. And people really seem to like that. They really seem to like a 3-week course where they don't have to log in to get a lecture every single day for 3 solid weeks. It
Wow.
includes everything you need. We start with a discussion of human design because I think it's very important to understand the matrix of energetic channels that surrounds your body and that
Yes.
crystalline structure that is your energetic matrix and the way the brain works. I think it's very important to understand that in order to really tap into the power of Light Bridge. And then we talk about the harmonic laws of the universe. That is the law of attraction and related principles and how you project your reality in the world and how you can take control of that. Next, we look at the subconscious mind and we go into those tools of subconscious reprogramming and belief sculpting in order to change your subconscious beliefs into something more liberating. Then we have applied energetics. And applied energetics is energy field activations and deactivations, attunements, and light bridge attunements. And then there's a section on practical applications so that you can learn how to use the tools that you've just studied in the real world and begin connecting with clients if you want to, how
Wow.
to use it with your friends and family, how to use it on yourself specifically.
I think
Um,
that's like the biggest value in the world is because okay, we're gonna say here's the surprise, guys. In package C, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they still get the personal session with you in package
the
B, right?
45-minute one-on-one
Yeah.
session, yes. And
Wow.
then two mentorship sessions.
Wow,
Uh,
guys.
these mentorship sessions, they last about 25 minutes or half an hour, or, if we get
Oh my
caught up in
gosh.
a conversation, they can last longer than that. But these are mentorship sessions to help basically give you an opportunity if you have any questions about what you're studying in the Lightbridge course. I'm there working with you one-on-one to help you really absorb the material and understand it. So you get two of
Amazing.
those. And
Wow.
then you also get four group sessions like that. I call them Lightbridge office hours. So everybody who's studying the course, we can come together as a group to answer any questions about Lightbridge that you might have. Um, and then you get 45 days, no, 30 days of what I call the energy blast, the Lightbridge blast. And basically, I meditate every day. When I meditate, I broadcast energy to the world. I put you on a list of people who will specifically receive a blast of energy while I'm meditating. So that's the type of thing that
Wow.
will come to you at different times every day because I don't meditate on a set schedule.
I love it. Wow. Guys, I mean, this is really awesome, Patrick. I mean, the thing I love about this is the type of thing that sets everybody off in a whole new reality for the new time on the earth because you're not just going to work with Patrick with package C and get the individual session, right, which is going to help you clear the blocks. You're not just going to activate your own intuitive knowing through all of the things that we've talked about and be a different version of yourself on the planet. You're also going to get to understand how healing actually happens and how your own body actually works through understanding Light Bridge. So now you not only have the ability to help others, but of course, you're going to be so much more able to shift and align yourself. And, that is why I always pursue deeper understanding of healing because that's how you know how your body works. You go from saying, well, just fix me. Like, wait a minute, I know what's going on. I'm going to work on this myself. It's amazing. So package C, we've got an early bird. The first 50 people are going to get it for only 447. After that, it's going to go up to 497. And Patrick, I mean, this is a huge piece of amazing
Mhm.
opportunity for people to grab package C because they're going to get like 3 personal experiences with you. They're going to get 4 live group classes. They're going to get all the content, plus they're going to get 30 days of remote energy work.
Mhm.
For 447, this is like a Christmas, New Year's 2026 gift come early, and
Yeah,
even some payment plans. Yeah, plus.
plus they get everything in package A and everything in package B.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, my friend. When I say everyone, Patrick has a deep desire not just to do a bunch of personal sessions and get a bunch of people, constantly going to him. He has a desire to train people to become liberators so they can liberate themselves and others and get this message to humanity of becoming truly free out there. All right. And that's the message of our higher self. It's like liberation. If you're tired of being in the same cycle, it's like you've got to change and get out of the system that's actually creating the cycle. And Patrick is huge stuff. Um, I want to get some quick rapid fire questions. I want to get some things. People, everyone, write in. I'm so excited about this. Wow. Hello and thank you to Patrick. Amazing stuff. We got a question for one person, and I think this is definitely a truth. Um, they wrote in, when are the live trainings? Let me get to that first. I think you said, was it Mountain Time, 11 a.m. on Sundays?
Mountain time, so 10 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. I can't remember the time in Europe. I
Oh,
think 6 p.m. in London, 7
okay.
p.m. in Europe, in Central Europe. So that will be 4 consecutive Sundays beginning January 11th. And then there's going to be an extra one for the muscle testing workshop.
Wow.
So 5 live workshops, and then everything else is dripped out as a pre-recorded audio in between.
Lisa says the package sounds amazing. I totally agree. It's like a total new start, new possibilities. Okay, we got a question coming in about someone's wondering if the feeling that, okay, so this is from Hannah. She said, if we're used to disappointment and letdown and have a kind of feeling like something is wrong with me, healing
Mhm.
doesn't work for me, attitude or belief, does that get in the way of actually healing? And
Yeah,
how would this package help me let this go? Great
yeah.
question from Hannah.
So I have seen the belief system, it works for other people, but it doesn't work for me, pop up over and over and over again.
Hmm.
And we can do subconscious reprogramming to delete that belief system out of your subconscious mind and replace it with the belief system that energy work does work for you and it will
Yes.
work for you and that it's safe and effective and you're allowed to have it and so forth. So the subconscious reprogramming can help clear away some of those limiting beliefs. Now, if you have a long-term pattern of disappointment and frustration, some of those beliefs can be very, very deeply ingrained. It will never work for me. Everything
Mm-hmm.
always backfires.
Mm-hmm.
The harder I try, the worse things get. These are the other beliefs that we would tap into as well and either eliminate them through the subconscious reprogramming or do the belief sculpting in order to try to uh, pull them all out simultaneously.
Yeah, if you have that belief like nothing works for me, then absolutely, like Henry Ford said, if you believe you can or you believe you can't, you are correct. And
Mhm.
why is that? Because there's a timeline that exists where nothing does work for you.
Mhm.
There's also a timeline where everything you touch turns to gold.
Yes.
That's just the way it works. And, I go back to the many worlds theory, which is that you think you observe, a timeline's created, and now which track are you on? So the question for everybody here is, are you tired of not being in control of that track or not allowing your intuition to guide you on the highest track possible for you? When is enough enough?
Mhm.
You know? It's that we got to just decide, I guess. Patrick, any thoughts to that? I mean, who is this for? Because, I mean, look, if you just want Patrick's help, package B. If you want to maybe get more help and say, you know what, I'm gonna really master this now for once in my life and be the change, maybe it's package C. If you just want to do it on your own and have some fun and activate a lot, maybe package A. But Patrick, what would you
Mhm.
say? Go through each and tell me who, like, what client would you see kind of going for A, B, or C? Because this is really unprecedented and exciting at UWealth Revolution, guys. It really
Mhm.
is. Follow along uwealthrevolution.com/patrick 30. Just huge stuff.
Mhm. So package C, let's do package C first. Package C is for anybody who wants to actively engage with energy healing,
Mm,
whether you are a practitioner, you have a business that is a healing business, or a transformation or a coaching business, or if you simply want a set of tools to help you manage the energy that exists within your family and within yourself.
yeah,
So, package C is for the people who really actively want to engage with healing material and do it themselves and develop that skill sets that will allow you to thrive as you help other people thrive as well.
love it.
So that's package C. Package B is for people who really want to have a deep understanding of what intuition is and how it works. And uh, of course, intuition is crucial to package C as well. That's why packages A and B are part of package C as well. Because if your intuition is online and you understand how intuition works, it will make you much more powerful as an energy healer or a life coach, or however you want to use the teachings. So
And if they want
package B,
help, yeah. And if they
mhm,
want help from you, because I mean, you're
yeah,
going to be actually going in there for 45 minutes and making sure that you can follow that path and activate. It's not only your psychic gifts, right? It's actually the intuition that guides you to your, again, that highest life path.
yeah.
Um, if I hadn't listened to my friend Jen and decide to go to Austin, speak at Mary Will Height's Internet Marketing Seminar as the legal expert. And again, I didn't want to do that, right? I was like, no, I want to teach spiritual stuff. I'm tired of being the lawyer guy, right? If I didn't do that, I probably never would have met my wife. I probably never would have, followed some of the paths. I probably wouldn't be here. There are untold possibilities waiting once you clear out all the goop and you go forward. I mean, it's so easy. It's so easy, guys. And none of it was hard work. It was like, yeah, I had to do stuff, but I was guided and led, and it was like I was in a slipstream.
Mhm.
It's like it's just cool. It's cool. So yeah, so
Yeah,
I think package B is for those people too that want to just break out of that but get help. And then
yeah.
who would package A be for?
So package A is a little bit more passive in the way that it's constructed, because I am performing the attunements and you're basically sitting back and engaging with the material and absorbing the energy and having your gifts come online. Now, of course, it is important to take action. It's up to you. Once those intuitive gifts come online, it's up to you to practice them and to learn how to manage them. But that audio harmonics package is essentially the type of thing where you simply sit back, you listen, you let the energy flow through you, and you are transformed.
Mm, mm, I love it. I love it. Yeah, I want everyone to take a moment and tap in, and maybe there's a message for your higher self in terms of whether this is something to go deeper into now or not, or whether like this would open up something that it's been trying to allow you to reach. And Patrick, I don't know if you can guide us through that a little bit, or maybe there's some other wisdom, but I'd love it around kind of what's possible for people or how maybe this package could help them, because I do think that where we are moving to, we're going to want the discernment from a higher part of ourselves to navigate this reality, because
Yes.
there's going to be so many changes on Earth, and without that, you're certainly not going to let social media navigate your reality. You're certainly not going to let the
Yeah.
news. You're certainly not going to let friends and family, where you've got to
Yeah.
there's a higher God divine self that knows which way to go. So can we tap into that a little bit and then close
Yes.
out, and then everyone can experience this in their own way, because we got three amazing packages.
Yeah. So everybody here, every single one of you on this call is called to a life of service.
Hmm.
And I want to clarify immediately that living a life of service does not mean that you are a servant. We never want service to devolve into indentured servitude or outright slavery or something like that. We don't want it to devolve into self sacrifice. But every single one of you chose to be here at this crucial moment in history in order to usher in a new age and in order to be of service to the new age as it's unfolding and to be of service to other people to help bring them into the new age as well. We live in a time of chaos and upheaval because this change is happening whether people wanted to or not. And there are a lot of people who are deeply invested in things remaining the way they have been for the past decades or centuries. There are people who are deeply, deeply invested in the current capitalistic system that's in place. And that capitalistic system needs to either completely fall or be transformed as we move into the new age. So there is a lot of resistance, there's a lot of pushback, there's a lot of people who will try to stop you from living the life of service that you're called to because you are actually a threat to them and their livelihood in their minds. You're really not. You're not a threat at all. They just perceive it that way. So, intuition is going to be crucial for helping guide you as you navigate this tumultuous time that we're in. It will help you figure out who to trust and who to avoid. It will help you figure out what actions you can take that will be fruitful and what actions will actually backfire on you or work against you. It will help you figure out who you should be of service to and who you should concentrate your energy on and who is actually just going to bleed you dry,
Mm,
take advantage of you, take advantage of your good nature, and just take without giving anything in return.
mm.
So, developing your intuition right now, I think, is absolutely crucial in order to help navigate this transition into a new age, into the age of Aquarius.
Yeah, I'm going to add another point because I feel passionate about this for so many levels. There is now on the horizon, nothing to be afraid of, but there is sentient AI that
Mhm.
now they say can do basically anything someone is doing on a computer, sentient AI can do. And it is already merging systems together and things like that,
Mhm.
to where administrative tasks and things like that can be done very rapidly with AI. So the one thing that can't be replaced or outsourced or somehow offloaded to any system like that is what makes us the most powerful version of humans. And that is our higher essence, our higher DNA, our higher abilities. So this is the time to go into that version of yourself.
Mhm.
Because as you say, like if you're working in those structures, just kind of pushing things around, that's going to fall away. Kind of like, the old buggy whip fabricator that used to have a great business. When people had carriages, the buggy whip was really important because you had to kind of whip the horse to get it going. But once the automobile came, the buggy whip was gone. And we're moving through one of those massive waves of creative destruction, right? And now we're here to recreate ourselves. So, Patrick, I love it, and it helps our life. It helps us connect to our destiny, and it's just so awesome. So, everyone, check it out and feel into maybe what makes sense for you and what it's going to look like in the new reality for you and what it's going to look like when you're using your intuition. I think it's just phenomenal. So, Patrick, thank you for doing this. Just a massive package. We're just so much in love with what Patrick does in Lightbridge. I mean, we love Lightbridge all in its own, and then now we have the ability to actually be doing this and helping communities and people with Lightbridge as one of our tool sets in Package C. So just huge stuff. Check it out. uwealthrevolution.com/Patrick30. Sorry, everyone, for going so long. I mean, I just got to say, it's like a big world premiere of what Patrick's doing. We want to support it and support the time and love that he's put out into our community to not just help you, but help you become a person who can do what he does, right? He's sharing the code to what he does to Lightbridge. So, Patrick, any final thoughts or messages of love for everybody here? Wow, just great, man.
Oh,
This was
so
awesome.
many messages of love. But what I usually fall back on is a call for you to be gentle to yourself, be gentle with yourself. When you are testing the waters of your intuition, you will have hits and you will have misses. And if you have a miss and then suddenly jump to the conclusion that you're never going to get it, it's never going to develop for you, and so forth, then that's the reality that you will create for yourself. So be gentle with yourself, be forgiving, be loving with yourself, and allow that gentleness that you have with yourself to bubble up and out of your system and extend to other people as well.
Absolutely. I love it. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, everyone who's here. Love it, man. This is great. I mean, we are going to shift into a whole new timeline. You guys are going to know how to tap into that and activate gifts and possibilities and be literally a complete new version of yourself that is more aligned to who you came to Earth to be. And that is really what it's about. So thank you, Patrick. Thank you, everyone. We're going to send you guys off in love. Check it out. It's at uwealthrevolution.com/Patrick30. Unleash the psychic power of your higher self. And this is the gateway to activate your greatest superpowers. And I can be honest and say, I would not be here if I didn't listen to a part of myself that was beyond the part that was controlling my day-to-day life. And I can tell you, there is a version of you that knows exactly where to be at the right place at the right time to meet that person in your dreams, to have that opportunity of your dreams, to finally release those struggles. There absolutely is. And it's all part of divine plan. And every time you get a nudge, you either have to say, yes, I'm going to grab that energy, grab that brass ring, grab it and go, or I'm going to just wait and see what happens next year doing the same old thing. And, I just always say, go towards the expansion, whatever that is for you. That's going to be the answer. Go to the highest, right? Whether that's going for a walk, plugging into this program, taking time for yourself, go to the highest. The answers always are there. And Patrick, thank you for being one of those answers for so many people.
Thank you very much. It's been a joy.
Awesome. Well, guys, I told you it was delayed, but it was going to be amazing, and it certainly was. And I want to send everybody off in big love. And we're going to leave you with Diane and our team. If you want to go deeper, check it out. We've got early birds. They're going to go quick. Sending you in big love, wishing you all the best, and knowing that there's a version of you that knows exactly what to do and how to do it and is absolutely a master. And the key secret is plugging in and connecting that version and letting it take the wheel. You are wise and knowledgeable and a divine being. Thanks again, Patrick, for the reminders and teaching us the way, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you soon. Take care, everyone. Much love. And as Patrick said, be kind to yourself. You're amazing. Take care.